The homily was administered by Most Reverend Dr. Felix Alaba Job, Archbishop Emeritus of Ibadan Diocese. Chief Tommy Kimi was praised for his forthright disposition in discharging his duties as Foreign Affairs Minister, which gave a positive image to Nigeria among the Committee of Nations of the world.
Forget about the past. Look straight to the future. Look to the tabernacle where the Lord Jesus is. Submit yourself in love, in charity, and in patience. Be to your neighbor the servant of God. The remaining period of our lives should be spent not as yesterday when you were young. The Yoruba say, "Agba ṣòro dà." Aging is difficult. We pray for it, but to carry it out, arm yourself, not with soldiers and police. Arm yourself with the grace of God. Sow seeds of love, of generosity, but also of inner peace, inner joy. Call on your guardian angel every day.
The highlights of the Thanksgiving Mass of Chief Tommy Kimi at 80 were reading from the scriptures, the Holy Communion, homily, and Thanksgiving by Chief Tom Ikimi and the entire family and the congregation. The vote of thanks was given by Dame Marie Fatai Williams, the younger sister of the celebrant. The program ended with the Hallelujah Chorus. There was a grand reception at the magnificent Horatio Marquis at Okada Avenue, Benin City, Edo State, where Edo State flavored cultural and contemporary music took center stage. There were performances by Ui Theatre Troupe and other dance groups from Esanland that brought a lot of life to the event. The event began formally with the opening prayer by Bishop Anthony Okosun, remarks by the chairman of the Chief Tommy Kimi at 80 event, Senator Ben Obi Con, the Pro-Chancellor and Chairman of the Governing Council of American University, Yola, Adamawa State.
It gives me great pleasure again this afternoon to, on behalf of the entire committee of this 80th birthday, to welcome all of us from far and near to the reception that is being organized this afternoon. After the church service that was very, very well celebrated, by His graces and His eminence, what else can we be looking up to if not to have a beautiful afternoon/evening? So, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you very much for your attention, and we will have a lovely afternoon/evening. Thank you.
The chairman of the reception, His Royal Majesty King Alfred Dietes Spieth, Amayanabo of Twanbras of Bayelsa State, gave the welcome remarks.
If you know him, he's a man of action. While he was the External Affairs Minister, he transformed and built up the image of Nigeria, which at the time was being challenged almost to the point of being banned from the Commonwealth. He is a man of many parts. He is a genius by all standards. It is not too late for the United Nations to have people like him being invited there to head the organization. Even at 80, he is strong enough to go ahead and make things happen at that level. That is my prayer, and I think that should be all we should be wishing him for now. He has blazed the trail, he has done all that needs to be done. It is for the world now to recognize him and put him where he should be. Welcome to this reception, and I can assure you it will be a bumper event. God bless you all.
There were goodwill messages from friends, associates, and family members of the celebrants, and many groups and clubs made special presentations to the celebrant. The cutting of the birthday cake of Chief Tom Ikimi was conducted by Governor Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, with all the family members of the celebrant surrounding him.
2, 3, 10, 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80. Happy birthday to you.
The toast of Chief Tommy Kimi at 80 was proposed by Alabo Dr. Abiy Sakibo, former Minister of Transport, who is a long-standing political associate of the birthday icon of the moment.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and toast to the health of the Odumine of the universe, the Oduma of Esan land, Chief, High Chief, Sir.
Congratulations on your birthday. Congratulations on your birthday today. Celebrate. We wish you happy birthday.
A thoroughly overwhelmed celebrant, Chief Tom Ikimi, expressed his profound appreciation from the depth of his heart to all Nigerians for the love they showed him, praying that God will pay them back abundantly in many ways. He regretted the absence of those who were there to celebrate him when he turned 70, like President Jerry Rawlings of Ghana and Chief Raymond Dokpesi, and others who have died.
I'm really very grateful to all of you who have been here since yesterday. I thank the governor, I thank his cabinet, I thank the members of the House of Assembly, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, the members of his cabinet, commissioners, my permanent secretaries, and all of you for coming here to honor me. Let me give you the assurance that I prefer to celebrate his birthday here in Edo State as my state. There are 36 states of Nigeria, but you must have a base, and Edo State is my base. And from 1999 of this particular republic, the Fourth Republic, all the governors and leaders of Edo State from this republic have been close to me, and I'm looking forward to the next one to come. Whatever it is, thank you all very much. There could be much to say, but I don't think that this is the time for all that and all that talk. All I want to say is that thank you all very much.
The closing prayer was led by Mrs. Ifeyinwa Asue Egodado. The reception ended with a grand carnival of dancing by the celebrant, Chief Tom Ikimi, his son, co-celebrant Thomas Eromosele Ikimi, TJ, and all members of the Ikimi family. As we look forward prayerfully to the 85th and 90th birthday anniversary of Chief Tom Ikimi, we at Biscon Communication Global Media Network thanks our growing number of fans across the world for loving and liking us.
Osun people, the light that began to shine must not go dim. From the roads that now connect our communities to the schools giving our children renewed hope, from improved healthcare reaching our mothers and families to the empowerment of workers, youths, farmers and entrepreneurs, a new Osun is rising before our eyes. Today, Governor Ademola Adeleke humbly returns to the people with a simple message. The journey has begun, but the mission is not yet complete. The first mission is to build more roads, bridges, and rural infrastructure so that every community can feel the impact of development. The second mission is to deepen quality education, expand opportunities for our children, and prepare the next generation for a competitive world. The third mission is to strengthen healthcare and social welfare so that no family is left behind and every citizen can access quality care and support. The fourth mission is to create more jobs, empower more youths and women, attract investment, grow businesses, and unlock greater economic prosperity for Osun State. And the fifth mission is to secure our communities, support our farmers, expand agriculture, and build a sustainable future where peace, food security, and prosperity flourish together. This is not just another election. This is a choice between stopping and moving forward. A choice between uncertainty and continuity. A choice between promises and proven performance. From Osogbo to Ilesha, from Ede to Ikirun, from Ife to Iwo, from Ila to Ejigbo. The message is echoing across every town and village. Let the light continue to shine. Let progress continue to grow. Let development reach every doorstep. Together, let us consolidate the gains, secure great prosperity, and build the Osun of our dreams. Governor Ademola Adeleke, the people's governor, the people's choice, the light of Osun, Imolede, Imoletumbo. Adeleke again, for progress, for prosperity, for greater Osun. In the race toward the future of Osun State, one name continues to stand out as a symbol of experience, discipline, and technical leadership. Asiwaju Munirudeen Bola Oyebamiji, widely known as Ambo. A seasoned banker and public administrator with over 20 prioritizes job creation, agricultural revival, industrial growth, and support for small and medium-scale enterprises. He also emphasizes key infrastructure projects such as transport corridors, logistics hubs, and strategic assets like the Dagbolu Dry Port and Idoshun Airport to drive long-term growth. On social development, he promises improved education, better healthcare, and stronger workers' welfare through sustainable reforms. At the core of his message is simple. Governance must be professional, data-driven, and focused on delivering real results for the people. For many supporters, Ambo represents experience, stability, and a clear roadmap for resetting Osun State on a path of prosperity. For over 2 decades, the Biscon Show, BOS, has remained one of Nigeria's most respected and enduring television brands, setting the standard for quality entertainment, celebrity interviews, society events, cultural celebrations, corporate showcases, and high-profile social engagements. Created and hosted by ace broadcaster and media icon Prince Biscon, the program has grown into a household name, renowned for its rich storytelling, professionalism, and unique presentation style that appeals to audiences across Nigeria and the global diaspora. As a flagship production of Biscon Communications, BOS has consistently showcased some of the nation's most prestigious events, including grand royal celebrations, major corporate functions, cultural festivals, entertainment spectacles, political gatherings, awards ceremonies, tourism promotions, investment summits, and exclusive society occasions. Over the years, the platform has provided extensive coverage of landmark events featuring presidents, vice presidents, governors, ministers, royal fathers, captains of industry, diplomats, celebrated entertainers, sports icons, and influential personalities from across Nigeria and beyond. The show has also covered some of the country's most high-profile and colorful events, including major cultural festivals such as Ojudioba, prestigious award ceremonies, corporate anniversaries, product launches, international conferences, tourism exhibitions, government functions, and exclusive social events that have shaped Nigeria's social, cultural, business, and entertainment landscape. Widely regarded as one of Nigeria's longest-running and most influential television magazine shows, BOS has built a legacy of excellence through compelling interviews, event coverage, human interest stories, and lifestyle programming. Today, the brand enjoys a strong multi-platform presence across television, digital media, online streaming, and social networks, delivering its content to millions of viewers and followers within Nigeria, across Africa, and throughout the global diaspora. Its combined television and digital footprint continues to generate significant audience engagement, making it a valuable platform for organizations, governments, corporations, and brands seeking widespread visibility and impact.
Hello and welcome to the World News on Biscon TV. I'm Emmanuel. Let's look at the headlines making the news this hour. On the national scene, Tinubu hails Sanwo-Olu at 61 and Gbajabiamila at 64. Wike slams David Mark over ADC claims on FCT road constructions, defends Tinubu's development agenda. In business, Nigeria needs better tax compliance. On the foreign scene, Venezuelan president declares state of emergency after earthquake. Sports news: FIFA allows Russia to enter international youth competition. Now let's bring you the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday congratulated Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on his 61st birthday and his Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila on his 64th birthday. In a statement issued by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, Tinubu described Sanwo-Olu's contribution to the development of Lagos State as remarkable. The president said the governor had combined his private and public sector experience to advance economic, infrastructural, and cultural development in the state. The president also congratulated Gbajabiamila on his 64th birthday, describing him as a loyal and dedicated public servant. He praised the former Speaker of the House of Representatives for his contributions to Nigeria's democracy and his role in the formation of the APC. The president also prayed for good health, wisdom, and strength for the governor and his chief of staff. Away from that, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) Barrister Nyesom Wike on Thursday took a swipe at former Senate President David Mark over what he described as his poor infrastructure record while in office, arguing that the achievement of President Bola Tinubu's administration in road infrastructure within 3 years has surpassed what was accomplished during Mark's tenure in leadership position. Wike spoke at the commissioning of the interchange at Eteria Road N16 Ring Road 3 junction linking Jai and Gwarinpa district in Abuja, where President Bola Tinubu was represented by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The minister's remark came in response to recent criticism from the African Democratic Congress (ADC), which said he had nonetheless acknowledged the administration's achievement in road infrastructure. The minister argued that the Tinubu's administration had demonstrated what could be achieved through political will and commitment to continuity in office. And still on the news, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has called for greater youth participation in voluntary organizations, saying early exposure to humanitarian service is essential to shaping responsible citizens and building a more compassionate society. Speaking on Thursday after she was decorated as the Grand Matron of the Nigerian Red Cross Society at the State House in Abuja, the First Lady said volunteer organizations should be deliberately used to instill values of selflessness and community service among young Nigerians. The First Lady commended the Nigerian Red Cross Society for its humanitarian interventions across the country and expressed confidence that Nigeria would overcome its current challenges through collective commitment and purposeful leadership. And still on the news, the federal government on Thursday unveiled the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System Human Resources Employee Self-Service Application. It also commenced sensitization of the newly approved Public Service Mentoring Program in a move aimed at accelerating digital transformation and strengthening leadership succession within the federal civil service. The twin initiative were presented during a stakeholders event held at the Rotunda Hall of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja as part of activities marking the 2026 Civil Service Week. Speaking at the event, the Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Nkiruka Jones Nebo, described the launch of the digital HR platform and mentoring program as two strategic reforms designed to modernize public service operations and prepare a new generation of leaders. She noted that the platform would empower employees and managers with self-service capabilities that enhance access to information, transparency, and accountability. Let's take a quick break here and bring you business news. In business, 1 year after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed Nigeria's landmark tax reform laws, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, has expressed concern that many Nigerians still view taxation as a way for government to take money from citizens rather than a tool for national development. Speaking in Abuja when a delegation from the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria paid him a courtesy visit to mark the 2026 National Tax Awareness Day, Oyedele said public perception of taxation remains one of the biggest challenges facing the country's revenue system. The minister noted that a well-functioning tax system could significantly accelerate Nigeria's development, and improve public service across the country. Also, he commended CITN for introducing the National Tax Awareness Day and for its support of the federal government tax reform program. The minister urged the institute to intensify effort to educate citizens on the benefit of taxation and also proposed the creation of annual awards to recognize outstanding tax compliant individuals and businesses. We will take another break here and bring you foreign news. On the foreign scene, Venezuela has declared a nationwide state of emergency after two powerful earthquakes measuring 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude, along with more than 20 aftershocks, struck the country and caused widespread destruction. Interim President Delcy Rodriguez announced the emergency measures after a building collapsed in and around Caracas and serious damage forced the closure of the country's main international airport. The twin quakes have killed at least 32 people and injured more than 700, while rescue workers continue searching for survivors trapped under rubble. Authorities say emergency resources have been mobilized nationwide as recovery efforts continue and officials assess the full extent of the damage. The disaster has triggered widespread panic. In the world of sports, FIFA has opened a pathway for Russia's return to international youth football by allowing all its 211 member associations, including Russia, to participate in the newly created FIFA Under-15 World Cup and festival scheduled to take place in Azerbaijan in October 2026. Russian officials welcomed the move, describing it as an important step towards the country's gradual reintegration into global football after years of suspension from international competition following the invasion of Ukraine. The decision signals a possible easing of restriction on Russian participation in international sport, particularly at youth level. However, Russia remains suspended from senior FIFA and UEFA competitions, with European football authorities maintaining that the ban will stay in place until further notice. The move is expected to reignite debate among football's federation as previous attempts to reintroduce Russian youth team faced opposition from several countries, including Ukraine and a number of European nations. You've been watching the world news on Biscon TV. We'll take a final break here. When we come back, we'll bring you entertainment news. Now, finally, on entertainment news, a grand celebration was held at the Rotary Centre, Ikeja, Lagos, on Thursday to mark the 35th anniversary of the professional career of renowned brand communication and reputation management expert Mr. Demola Akimbola. The event featured the launch of his book, Communicating to Win in Career and Business, the inauguration of the Nigerian Brand Academy, and the unveiling of Brand Steward, an initiative aimed at promoting brand consciousness and professional excellence. Speakers at the event commended Mr. Akimbola's contribution to the communication industry, while several distinguished individuals were honored with awards for their outstanding service and professional achievement. And that's it for now on Biscon TV News. But before we go, let's look at the major headlines that made the news this hour. On the national scene, Tinubu hails Sanwo-Olu at 61 and Gbajabiamila at 64. Wike slams David Mark over ADC claims on FCT road constructions and defends Tinubu's development agenda. In business, Nigeria needs better tax compliance. On foreign scene, Venezuelan president declares state of emergency after earthquake. And in sport, FIFA allows Russia to enter international youth competition. The news was compiled and produced by David Ashra and Ime Manuel. Many thanks for watching.
Hello, folks. I greet you. They are here time again for these newspapers. We want to share the headline stories with you. But before we start any business here, we'll meet and greet the unflappable Nelson Ekojimi.
Good day,
Nelson, I greet you.
I greet you, Citizen Joe.
Yeah.
Good day, viewers.
All right. The Nigerian Tribune is first here, and the lead story, Nelson. State Police, Senate passes bill, empowers governors to appoint CPs.
Well, Citizen Jones, this has been an issue that has been long overdue. It's something we have all clamored for, and we are very lucky that we have an executive in power today that is in sync with that idea.
In fact, we must tell the viewer that late President Muhammadu Buhari did not like
yes,
state police,
yes, you cannot you cannot divorce the mentality of President Muhammadu Buhari from his military background.
Yeah,
you know, the military is a command structure. So when you tell the military to decentralize power, it's like a mutiny. You know, so we must commend President Bola.
You know, the military will thrive on unitary command.
Yes, it's a structure that is based on command. It's a command structure.
But there are angles to the news.
Yeah.
24 states must say yes before it becomes law.
Absolutely, yes, because that is the process for law making. Because when we create a state police, there must be an enabling law, you know, to give legality to its establishments. And so the provision of the law that 2/3 of the 36 states must give the approval. That's the House of Assembly.
Okay, minor pieces in the Tribune include 17 Ondo students. Nelson, your state is in the news. 17 Ondo students in trouble over viral WASC sign-up celebration video.
Yes, I saw the video, and that video didn't portray the upbringing of those children in good light. And that is why it has drawn the anger of the authorities, you know, because no matter what we do, we must recognize that we're people who are bound by our culture and traditions. So there are some things, even if it is not made a law, we know these things are abominations or things that you cannot do in the open in our society.
Okay, Oyo State raises 2026 budget to 1.1 trillion with 250 billion naira supplementary appropriation.
Well,
that states can now budget up to you know,
because the music has changed, you know,
and the musician,
you know,
is also different.
It's also different. There's so much money now flowing to the states and the local governments, and as much as the Oyo State government has raised the 2026 budget, we just hope that the good people of Oyo will be the monitors.
They will be on the same page
to ensure that the purpose is implemented.
Okay. Terrorism. Court in Sokoto sentences 2 Nigerians and 1 foreigner to death.
That shows clearly that those naysayers
must appreciate that government is working.
Absolutely, because every time they come out and tell you that who have they arrested, what have they done with it? They have released them. They have integrated them into the military. As if the military is a Boy Scout, where somebody just wakes up and, you know, enlists. So I think the enlightened folks must differentiate themselves
Must be far from the madding crowd.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. That's just my message.
All right. This one, LPPC suspends Mike Ozekome from SAN rank. Have you heard it?
Yes, of course. That has been the topical news since yesterday when that information broke. Don't forget that Chief Mike Ozekome was convicted in UK for attempted for impersonation
and seizure of
yes, attempt to fraudulently obtain a property that does not belong to him, and he would have also been tried in Nigeria. But I think there was a plea bargaining, and that trial was altered. But this move by the LPPC is a step in the right direction. It shows clearly that no matter your status, if you run foul of the law will catch up with you.
LPPC simply means Legal Practitioners Privileges Commission.
That is the body in charge of award of Senior
Advocate of Nigeria.
So one hopes that the NBA itself, because by that conduct, Mike Ozekome brought the image of the Nigerian bar to international disciples.
Yeah. Okay, APC, Accord Party, shunned police INEC peace meeting in Osun.
That's not a good one. It's I condemn it because no matter what, every stakeholder in our political or in our democratic system must commit to peace.
Yeah.
It's only in an atmosphere of peace that people can be governed. It's only in an atmosphere of peace that people can, earn a livelihood. So I think we must call on both parties, the two political parties, to return back.
To return to the table.
To the table.
Yeah.
And ensure that they sign and commit themselves to the peaceful conduct before, during, and after the elections.
All right. Another story now breaking in Oyo State. NDLEA uncovers another industrial scale meth lab in Oyo Forest.
This is Citizen Jones. What this shows to us, one was discovered about a week or two ago in Ogun State.
All right.
A lab in which about four.
Very notorious.
Absolutely.
In the southeast region.
Yes, I know.
It is simply meth.
Yes, it's simply meth. Yes, in the southeast. Yes. So I think we must give kudos to the NDLEA.
Under retired Brigadier Marwa. It's working.
And we encourage them to do more. But most importantly, citizens. I think the civil security agencies' engagement needs to be heightened such that when the people see something, they should be motivated to say something.
All right. In fact, the picture stories on the front page of Tribune will show the NDLEA people as they broke into the lab in Oyo Forest. Okay, Daily Sun here. And the lead story, Senate clears way for state police, passes bill.
That's, we have just spoken about it. That's the way to go, and that is the way we are going. But since just some persons are saying some of the governors, I remember vividly where that the governor of Oyo State is one of the staunch opposition voice to state police. That's Governor Seyi Makinde. The truth about state police is that it is not compulsory under law. It is voluntary. If your state feels they want to rely on the federal police, and maybe they have vigilantes, and there's no need for them to set up the state police, that is the state's cup of tea.
Yeah.
But those that want it, we operate a federal system of government. So states must be encouraged to do that, which will make all Nigerians, no matter where they are domiciled, to feel safe, to earn their livelihood or go about their lawful business.
Yeah, Nelson, Makinde is just one of the 36 governors.
Yes, I agree.
If 24 governors say yes, it is law.
It is law, but it is not compulsory. It is not incumbent on him.
But it does not preclude the bill becoming law?
No, it does not. It does not. Yes, we just need the consent of 24 states House of Assembly.
But the riders here, the president must retain emergency powers.
Absolutely, yeah, that will not be compromised in any form.
And states will appoint police commissioners.
Yes.
Not federal.
Yes.
And governors witness proceeding after initial resistance.
Let us get it clear. I think it is also important for us to have a state police service commission.
Because it will be there, yeah.
The states are setting up the state police command. The federal government state police command, that does not also take that away within the ambit of the security architecture. But most importantly, I have not seen the bill to be able to digest it. But I believe that under this new dispensation, the cases or the issues under the judicial dispensation of justice that falls under the purview of the states are matters that the state police should be saddled with. So that matters that fall under the exclusive list are those that the federal government police should be saddled with.
All right, hear this one. Defamation. Kwankwaso threatens 10 billion naira suit against Primate Ayodele over claims that he, Kwankwaso, was paid to be Obi's running mate.
I think yes, I heard it. I think this is a good development. Our so-called religious leaders are used to making all sorts of outlandish statements on the pulpit. For me, I'm a Christian. I've always told anybody who cares to listen that the pulpit has only one function: restoration of soul. Any man of God, I mean the big G, not the small G, that mounts that pulpit and goes contrary, saying things that are outside the doctrine, is the secretary that exalted stool, as far as I'm concerned. So Senator Musa Rabiu Kwankwaso is in order to demand a retraction or an apology, because by Primate Ayodele's assertion, he has cast aspersions on the character of Senator Rabiu Kwankwaso, and he must be made to remedy that assault on his image.
All right. NEMA, World Bank moved to review Nigeria's disaster management blueprint.
It's a good one because the society and things generally are evolving every day. New developments are coming on. So if NEMA and the World Bank are reviewing the disaster management blueprint, it means that they are in sync with the modern realities of disaster management.
Okay. Governor Mbato criminals. You can run, but you can't hide.
We only hope that the governor will walk the talk.
Oh yeah.
By putting in place the necessary modalities that will ensure.
But I think the man means business.
I wish him best of luck.
Kebbi raises the alarm over emergence of new terror gang, say Malam.
Well, it's a good one that the state is quickly raising this alarm. But I hope that it is not only about raising alarm, it's about working with the security agencies to nip this group in the bud. Or else by tomorrow, another new terror group will emerge.
So the viewer must remember the new terror group
in Kebbi
is Say Malam. Okay, NDLA destroys industrial meth lab in Oyo Forest, arrests Mexican expert and 4 Nigerians.
That's a good one by the NDLA. Congratulations.
Oh yeah. We'll see who gets INEC access code. Wicked Toms.
The minister of the FCT, Wiki, has become a thorn in the flesh of the opposition. And at every point in time, he's throwing, brick bats, throwing mud, throwing all sorts of, should I say, missiles, public statement missiles at the opposition. And he has done that again yesterday. You know, he's in the midst of the third anniversary of the present administration, and he has been commissioning projects, just like he did at the year 1 and also year 2.
Okay. All right. A picture story, front page Daily Sun. So shows security chiefs in the picture. The governor of Imo is there. Senator Rochas Okorocha. Former governor of Imo, I should say. Senator Rochas Okorocha is there. Speaker, Enugu State House of Assembly, Uchenna Ugu, IGO Police, Olatunji Disu, Governor Peter Mba, Vice Chancellor Godfrey Okoye University, Christian Anieke, and Attorney General of the Federation, Prince Latif Fagbemi, during the inauguration of the state's new security structure, Center for DNA Forensics and Criminal Investigations.
That's a good one.
You know, when the governor said, the criminals, you can run, you can't hide.
You know, we had Lagos State was the first to set up the DNA laboratory here in Lagos.
Okay, really?
But it was destroyed in 2020
during the
by
riots.
the NSAS protests of destruction, anarchy, rape, and killing.
Okay, New Telegraph next. Quickly, the headline story. Senate passes state police bill, adopts manual roll call after e-voting glitch.
That's a good one by the Senate, because the Senate tried to make its proceedings transparent.
Yeah.
When the electronic system
collapsed. Yeah.
You know, that was what we were telling those who said it was either electronic transmission or nothing. You can imagine if we had outlawed manual, how would they have been able to pass? So it shows you clearly that the technology at any point in time could falter.
Oh yeah.
And if it falters, there must be an alternative. And that is exactly what happened during the passage of the 2026 Electoral Act, where some group of people, because recognizing the fact that electoral defeat stares them in the face, who have determined that the only way to make themselves relevant is to destroy the system.
Yeah.
We're advocating instant electronic transmission of election results or nothing, as if they are God. But thank God that the Senate resisted it, and we can also see
the Senate is composed of representatives
of the
entire country.
Yes,
yeah.
The 109 senatorial
so they know.
Yes.
NBS PMS records 55.3% price increase to 1,596 naira per liter.
Yes, you are aware that the war in the Middle East contributed greatly to it.
Okay, taking its toll.
Yes. You know, before the war between Iran, the US, and Israel, the price of PMS at the pumps was about 700 to 800 naira across the country.
Okay, yeah.
But when the war broke out and there was a disruption in global oil supplies, coupled with the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, and you can see that immediately the gladiators reached the ceasefire now. The price of crude oil has started crashing, and as that last to destroy, but to build takes a very careful process.
Okay, PwC survey. Family businesses in Africa showed sustained growth.
That's an interesting reading, citizen, because when you talk about family business in Nigeria, only very few of them, like, okay, in Africa, this is in Africa. When you look at family business in Nigeria, you can point to...
My mind goes quickly to Concord.
You look at Concord, is no more in existence. But when you look at Dantata,
okay,
you know, that's a family business that has endured. You look at which other business? You look at the
BUA.
No, not BUA is a new entry. Okay. You look at companies like eleganza.
All right.
You look like family businesses like Folawiyo and Sons.
Okay.
You know, the progenitor of Folawiyo business in the various sectors of our economy. The patriarch has passed on, but the children assist. So I think it shows that the families are doing well in retaining the legacy of their patriarch, and it's a good one. It was recommended.
All right, quickly again, court bars journalists at ICPC as ICPC outlines El Rufai's trial.
Yes, that's the decision of the court, and there's nothing anybody can do about that.
You couldn't go to court
at all. There's no court you go to.
2027 efforts to stop us from nominating Jonathan failed. PDP.
The story is very interesting because the PDP that the man is talking about, the PDP has been declared illegal. So there's no way that PDP will be recognized in law. So that
and also recall that the wife of the former president had said, "Dear, don't go there."
Yeah, but you know, if you know the history of President Goodluck Jonathan, you know President Goodluck Jonathan is one man that he takes his decision based on the last engagements. He's not somebody who is of strong conviction, who can take a decision and stand on it.
All right.
Yes.
Insecurity. Oyo CAN suspends vigils, direct churches to fence premises.
And that is very good because I'm aware that right now the Oyo State government has imposed a dog-to-dog curfew on about 10 local governments in the state. And
4 p.m. to
about
6 a.m.
6 a.m. So if the Christian Association of Nigeria in Oyo State is asking churches to fence their premises, I think that is also
and
part
stop
of
vigil.
That's a very good security measure.
Okay. 1 in 4 Lassa fever patients dies in Nigeria. That's the US CDC.
That is very, very bad. That's
very
sad.
US Center for Disease Control.
Yes. That's sad. I just hope that the authorities are looking into this to see how we can change the story, change the narrative.
That story again, rising political violence. APC, Accord, shun Osun police peace meeting.
Like I said earlier on, that must be condemned. The two political parties must be made to come back to that table to sign and commit to peace. It's unfortunate that there's no penalty for the shunning the peace signing meeting.
Okay, Ajaokuta Steel Company Limited, steel giant in ICU for over 4 decades.
It's just very sad. The glamour that surrounded the establishment of the Ajaokuta Steel by now.
And add to that Delta Steel.
Yes, Delta Steel Alajan. By now would have been a giant in the production of steel and be supplying the whole world.
We didn't forget the Alscon at Ikorabas. Aluminium.
Very sad, very sad.
We dropped the ball.
We dropped the ball, yeah.
Many years.
And a critical factor that led to us dropping the ball was the incursion of the military into our political space.
That debate is interminable, but it is not winnable.
Absolutely, I agree.
Okay, federal government commits 217 billion naira to medical education, targets healthcare transformation.
I don't think this is enough, but it's a good start.
Yeah.
At least we are going we are getting somewhere. We must determine to commit more.
Political leaders, now architects of instability, alleges ex-DSS director.
Well, he's making his statement based on his own understanding or reading of the situation. I think this is something that the security agencies themselves must take note of and see how they can remedy the situation.
Okay. We'll quickly take on this. The Nation. The Nation newspaper is here. And the lead story is also here. Senate passes state police bill.
We have spoken about this because that's a good one.
EFCC to arraign U.S. blacklisted terrorism financing suspects. You've heard the story.
I've heard the story, yes. I think it's also a very good one for us because it will go a long way in helping us in the war against terrorism.
At least they named the suspect as
yes.
an operator of a bureau de change.
And we'll be leveraging on the information or material evidence from the United States of America.
LPPC bars Ozekome from using the title SAN.
I don't even think Mr. Ozekome will be coming to court any longer. Because since that news, since that his indictment in the US, he has gone under.
Okay.
He has gone under.
Okay, let's take on The Guardian now. The Guardian is here and the lead story. From NPF to state forces, Senate clears path for state police, retains federal oversight and guardrails.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Federal government backs U.S. sanctions on Nigerians BDCs linked to terror financing.
That's also a good one, because the fight against terrorism must be encouraged from anywhere we see it being waged, because terrorism is a global phenomenon.
Nigeria targets 277 GW power by 2060. That should be gigawatts.
Yes.
Power by 2060. Presidency denies Tinubu's "don't vote for me" comment.
How can the president say don't vote for me?
And where did that come from?
I don't know. You know, people just sit down somewhere and they concoct. Even when you say, I promise you I will do my best, they will say, he promised that he will provide it. You know, the man said, I saw the video and the president was assuring that he was going to put in all he has to ensure that there's stable electricity. And people now turned it around and said, he said, if I don't provide the electricity, don't vote for me.
Yeah.
I don't know where they got that from, because I saw the video myself.
All right. Presidency detached from reality, says opposition after Onanuga's no hunger remarks.
You know, the opposition has been feasting on it. Well, Nigerians know better, because a lot of times people will tell you, oh, people are hungry, and for me, I ask. People are hungry.
People are hungry. That statement needs to be interrogated.
Yes, because even Rotimi Amechi, who paid 90 million naira for the presidential nomination form of the ADC, also claimed that he was hungry. So we need to interrogate that hunger. Is it material hunger or physical hunger or food hunger? Because I don't know. That hunger can be gleaned from various perspectives.
Osun 2026, police meet military, INEC, political parties over rising violence.
Yes, that is a good one, because recently we heard that there has been some incidents of violence in Osun State as we count down to the election on August 15, 2026. I think it is important for all Nigerians to come out and condemn that violence. And not all the stakeholders to play by the rules.
Let students return to schools, or your government urges NUT.
I'm also
joining
my voice, because as much as the security agencies are still out there trying to rescue the abducted students and teachers, I don't support that the striking NUT, the strike action by NUT should continue, because the damage that might manifest from this attempt to show sympathy over a cause that affects us all might be inimical to our collective interest. You can imagine some of those students now, their parents in the morning will go to work. When they are supposed to be in school, they'll be idling at home, thereby making them vulnerable to all sorts of vices and what have you. So it's very dangerous. I also urge the NUT to call off the strike. Yes, to take a second look at it. Yes.
El Rufai arraigned on fresh charges, bail ruling fixed for July 1st.
El Rufai is having his day in court, despite several attempts from various quarters to politicize a purely criminal matter. Because El Rufai has been charged for cybercrime Act, in which he alleged he himself confessed voluntarily.
He started the...
Yes, he confessed voluntarily on a national medium that he tapped into the phone call
of the National Security Advisor,
which is against the provisions of the law in Nigeria.
So
the only authority that can tap into a citizen's phone call is on the authorization of the courts.
Okay.
Nobody has that right.
Did you see this fire for him coming?
I expected it because I think the man was seeing himself like a demigod.
Untouchable?
He saw himself as he never believed that he could be in the dragnet of the law. And I only hope he will get justice, because what he has done, that he confessed, is a crime against all of us.
Against the state,
yes, against all of us. And the state is embodied in we the citizens.
Credit to manufacturers down by 23% to 6.6 trillion naira as capacity utilization drops.
Well, so many factors are responsible for it. The world global crisis is also a factor, because a lot of manufacturers cannot do business today because of the global crisis. I was watching TV, and they were complaining, even in some of the Asian countries, that the crisis in Iran, the crisis involving Iran, Israel, Lebanon, and Israel, that crisis is affecting the local economy of those countries, because there are some products that are hanging. They cannot export, they cannot import because of the crisis over the Strait of Hormuz.
Of course, you must know that Lebanon, the Hezbollah in Lebanon is having this problem because of the involvement of Iran.
Yes, of course, yes. And the Israeli government is trying to say Lebanon is not part of Iran, so that the peace deal over Iran, between Iran and the US,
must not cover
Lebanon. That is not coming.
All right. Xenophobia. Federal government evacuates another batch of Nigerians from South Africa.
We say thank you to the federal government for that response in ameliorating the conditions of those Nigerians.
The Vanguard next. The story here. Senate passes state police bill. It's now federal state police services.
That's a
two
good one.
Services.
Yes,
federal police service and the
police,
state police services.
It's a good one. It's welcome. It's an idea whose time has come.
Okay. Federal government Gencos at war over electricity sector debt.
I thought we had gotten over this. Oh, sorry. It was the discourse that the federal government resolved. Well, I think the government and the Gencos will also resolve this one the way they resolve the discourse debt issue.
Oyo CAN suspends vigils, directs churches to fence premises over security concerns.
That's a good one. It's commendable. It's also about helping, like we always say, heaven help those who help themselves. So if those churches can put up fences, it means that they are making themselves less vulnerable to attacks.
Nelson, hear this howler to me. I don't see level of hunger Nigerians complain about. Onanuga.
Well, Mr. Onanuga has come under fire for that problem. But that's the comment a lot of us make every day. Because the same Nigerians who will be shouting hunger, you need to see them when they are having parties. You'll be asking yourself, where is the hunger? Where is this loud cry of hunger? Where is it coming from?
And for that matter, Nelson, somebody is hungry in my village, tucked away somewhere in Akwa Ibom. The listener is complaining, he's pointing an accusing finger at the central government.
I wonder how the federal government has anything to do with your hunger. You live in a local government.
Had you not
you live in a state.
Had you not been feeding before the government?
Since even the Bible says the hand that does not work
should not eat.
So only those who don't want to take advantage of the opportunities around them, who believe in us.
They believe in
handouts.
Ready-made meal.
Yes, the thing
Wiki said some politicians want
Mama food is ready. The convicted former deputy senate president Ike Ekweremadu said Nigeria was running a feeding bottle democracy. So maybe they expect that the federal government will be dispensing food. After all, the palliatives that they've been giving recently, some people have been saying, why are they giving only rice? And me, I've told them, if they give you and you know you don't have need for it, please
reject
it, so that those who need it,
but pass it on.
Pass it on. But they will never. That they will be mounting.
All right, other headlines here, begging for attention. Anti-terror action. Federal government orders banks and others to freeze assets of terrorism financiers.
That's the way to go. There must be penalties for people breaking the laws of the land. And that is exactly what is happening here.
Mba to criminals. That's Governor Mba now. You can run but can't hide.
Well, that
it tells you the man is ready for
them. He's ready for
state police or not.
Yes. In fact, he said it within the backdrop of the recent move on state police that you can run but you cannot hide. We're going to get you.
Oh yeah. Again, NDLEA bust multi-billion naira meth lab arrests Mexican and 4 Nigerians.
We say congratulations.
Multi-billion naira.
Of course. Even the one that was found in Ogun State is multi-billion.
Okay, 2027. Nobody gives power. You must take it. Wiki tells PDP.
That is the truism. Like we have this cliche that power is not
served a la carte.
It's not served a la carte. You struggle contest. Yes, nobody. It's just like in a contest. It's not about sympathy. It's about strength, resilience. The countries are playing the World Cup now. Everybody is putting on its best to ensure he or she comes out top.
Okay, the punch is here. So let's punch the headline story. State police bill lands in Senate assemblies.
State assemblies.
State assemblies. Did I say Senate? No, state assemblies. After the Senate passed it.
Yes, it's a bill whose time has come. And we're all very happy about the journey we are going now, because we know that is where we should be.
Okay. 2027 race. Wike, Turaki camps roll out parallel PDP candidates.
Well, the courts will decide because there's going to be a litany of court cases now about which faction was recognized, but we are very much aware.
See, it sounds like a seasonal thing.
Yes, the court has recognized the Turaki faction of the PDP. I don't know about the Wike faction, but the Supreme Court has even ruled that just like the Federal High Court and the Court of Appeal, that the party conduct of the Congress was an act in futility, and the court said any action that emanated from that Congress. So how Turaki is going about, how he's going to present his candidates, we wait to see where he's going to submit it to.
Okay. EFCC to arraign Miyetti Allah leader in $2.5 million laundering probe.
Yes, it was one of those fingers that has been
sponsors.
Being a conduit
Okay.
for
Terrorism
financing.
Yeah.
So, and he was charged before, but the case was discontinued, I think, in 2022 or thereabouts.
Well,
but now
the viewer may refer to the Punch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for details. Reps extend probe of airport seaport concessions.
It's within their power. It's part of the oversight functions. Let them do that.
Abduction crisis. Oyo begs NUT to end school shutdown.
Well, I also joined the Oyo State government to appeal to NUT to take a second look at the strike embarked upon.
ISIS funding. Federal government set to charge US sanctioned BDC operator.
That's a good one.
You see, he has a property in Lagos, Agege, Lagos.
Yes, yes, that's a good one.
Petrol remains pricey as crude crashes to $73 per barrel.
Season Jones, you can see since the agreement was reached about some hours ago, the price of crude oil has crashed from, during the crisis.
It was 18.
It went to 100. It went to about $110.
Yeah, I remember. Recently, 89, and now
it's
73.
So it means that but before the stability will come,
yeah,
it will take some time.
It will take a while. Okay. Top banks raise tech budget by 43% in first quarter.
That's a good one. They need to raise it because a lot of tech activities is being generated in the bank, both the good side and the bad side. And they need to raise the budget to be able to procure the necessary tools to enhance their efficiency and limit fraud.
The Daily Trust is here. We can trust the headline. State police gains ground as Senate passes bill.
We say congratulations, Nigeria.
All right. 2027 PDP candidates to sign agreement against defection.
It was the NDC that first came up with the idea of signing agreement against
oath taking.
No, I sign agreement against defection. That you not defect once you
must take an oath.
But we all know that is an act in futility because under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, no oath can supersede the provisions of the Constitution. So as far as we are concerned, the PDP, I don't know the faction of PDP that is trying to do this. This move against defection is a contravention of the provision of the laws of Nigeria. So it's a mere waste of time.
Okay, Plateau attack. How gunmen killed my pregnant sister in labor room.
Oh, very sad.
Very sad. Organized private sector, OPS, false tax laws implementation.
Well, I think their position will be made known to the tax authorities.
Okay.
And let's see what comes out of it.
Last but not least paper will be this day. Today, this day, the lead story. Mba, that's Governor Mba to criminals. You can run, but you cannot hide.
Yes, Governor Mba has taken some steps that has given him the confidence to utter that statement.
Lord Tinubu for state police reforms.
Yeah.
AGF Center, that's the forensic center. A profound contribution to national security.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
All eyes on state governments as Senate passes Tinubu's state police and trust fund bills.
That is a commendable one. Kudos to the federal government for presenting an executive bill on state police, which has been passed by the House of Representatives and now by the Senate. What is left now is for the two houses to harmonize the bill.
Yeah. And for 24 states
and to forward it to
give the okay.
States as of assembly.
And last but not least, LPPC suspends Ozekome's senior advocate rank.
Yes, that is because he ran foul of the law, and because his conduct his at variance with his oath as a
Senior advocate.
The LPPC has done the needful.
All right, so we're done. Our job is done here, but we must thank Nelson Ekojimi for finding the time to share his perspectives.
Thank you, Sir Joseph.
We are done. Until the next time. Bye-bye.
Biscon Television and the Biscon Show, where excellence meets entertainment and storytelling comes alive. From compelling documentaries to high-profile event coverage, from exclusive celebrity interviews to the latest in news, politics, lifestyle, and culture, we bring you the content that keeps you informed, inspired, and entertained. And guess what? We're taking over the than ever. Now we need you. Follow, like, comment, and share. Be part of the movement. Get exclusive behind-the-scenes content. Join the conversations and never miss a moment of the action. This is more than just television. It's a revolution in digital storytelling. Biscon TV and the Biscon Show. Bigger, better, and right at your fingertips. Let's take it to the next level. Follow us now.
Hello and welcome to the World News on Biscon TV. I'm Emmanuel. Let's look at the headlines making the news this hour. On the national scene, Tinubu hails Sanwo-Olu at 61 and Gbajabiamila at 64. Wike slams David Mark over ADC claims on FCT road constructions, defends Tinubu's development agenda. In business, Nigeria needs better tax compliance. On the foreign scene, Venezuelan president declares state of emergency after earthquakes. Sports news: FIFA allows Russia to enter international youth competition. Now let's bring you the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday congratulated Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on his 61st birthday and his Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila on his 64th birthday. In a statement issued by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, Tinubu described Sanwo-Olu's contribution to the development of Lagos State as remarkable. The president said the governor had combined his private and public sector experience to advance economic, infrastructural, and cultural development in the state. The president also congratulated Gbajabiamila on his 64th birthday, describing him as a loyal and dedicated public servant. He praised the former Speaker of the House of Representatives for his contributions to Nigeria's democracy and his role in the formation of the APC. The president also prayed for good health, wisdom, and strength for the governor and his chief of staff. Away from that, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, on Thursday took a swipe at former Senate President David Mark over what he described as his poor infrastructure record while in office, arguing that the achievement of President Bola Tinubu's administration in road infrastructure within 3 years has surpassed what was accomplished during Mark's tenure in leadership position. Wike spoke at the commissioning of the interchange at Eteria Road N16 Ring Road 3 junction linking Jai and Gwarimpa district in Abuja, where President Bola Tinubu was represented by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The minister's remark came in response to recent criticism from the African Democratic Congress ADC, which said he had nonetheless acknowledged the administration's achievement in road infrastructure. The minister argued that the Tinubu's administration and demonstrated what could be achieved through political will and commitment to continuity in office. And still on the news, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has called for greater youth participation in voluntary organizations, saying early exposure to humanitarian service is essential to shaping responsible citizens and building a more compassionate society. Speaking on Thursday after she was decorated as the Grand Matron of the Nigerian Red Cross Society at the State House in Abuja, the First Lady said volunteer organizations should be deliberately used to instill values of selflessness and community service among young Nigerians. The First Lady commended the Nigerian Red Cross Society for its humanitarian interventions across the country and expressed confidence that Nigeria would overcome its current challenges through collective commitment and purposeful leadership. And still on the news, the federal government on Thursday unveiled the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System Human Resources Employee Self-Service Application. It also commends sensitization of the newly approved Public Service Mentoring Program in a move aimed at accelerating digital transformation and strengthening leadership succession within the federal civil service. The training initiative were presented during a stakeholders event held at the Rotunda Hall of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja as part of activities marking the 2026 Civil Service Week. Speaking at the event, the Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Nkiruka Jones Nebo, described the launch of the digital HR platform and mentoring program as two strategic reforms designed to modernize public service operations and prepare a new generation of leaders. She noted that the platform would empower employees and managers with self service capabilities that enhance access to information, transparency, and accountability. Let's take a quick break here and bring you business news. In business, 1 year after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed Nigeria's landmark tax reform laws, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, has expressed concern that many Nigerians still view taxation as a way for government to take money from citizens rather than a tool for national development. Speaking in Abuja when a delegation from the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria paid him a courtesy visit to mark the 2026 National Tax Awareness Day, Oyedele said public perception of taxation remains one of the biggest challenges facing the country's revenue system. The minister noted that a well-functioning tax system could significantly accelerate Nigeria's development and improve public service across the country. Also, he commended CITN for introducing the National Tax Awareness Day and for its support of the federal government tax reform program. The minister urged the institute to intensify effort to educate citizens on the benefit of taxation and also proposed the creation of annual awards to recognize outstanding tax compliant individuals and businesses. We will take another break here and bring you foreign news. On the foreign scene, Venezuela has declared a nationwide state of emergency after two powerful earthquakes measuring 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude, along with more than 20 aftershocks, struck the country and caused widespread destruction. Interim President Delcy Rodriguez announced the emergency measures after a building collapsed in and around Caracas and serious damage forced the closure of the country's main international airport. The twin quakes have killed at least 32 people and injured more than 700, while rescue workers continue searching for survivors trapped under rubble. Authorities say emergency resources have been mobilized nationwide as recovery efforts continue and officials assess the full extent of the damage. The disaster has triggered widespread panic, disrupted transportation and infrastructure, and raised concerns over further aftershocks in the coming days. Up next, sports news.
Audio
In the world of sports, FIFA has opened a pathway for Russia's return to international youth football by allowing all its 211 member associations, including Russia, to participate in the newly created FIFA Under-15 World Cup and Festival scheduled to take place in Azerbaijan in October 2026. Russian officials welcomed the move, describing it as an important step towards the country's gradual reintegration into global football after years of suspension from international competition following the invasion of Ukraine. The decision signals a possible easing of restriction on Russian participation in international sport, particularly at youth level. However, Russia remains suspended from senior FIFA and UEFA competitions, with European football authorities maintaining that the ban will stay in place until further notice. The move is expected to reignite debate among football's federation as previous attempt to reintroduce Russian youth team faced opposition from several countries, including Ukraine and a number of European nations. You've been watching the world news on Biscon TV. We'll take a final break here. When we come back, we'll bring you entertainment news. Now, finally, on entertainment news, a grand celebration was held at the Rotary Centre, Ikeja, Lagos, on Thursday to mark the 25th anniversary of the professional career of renowned brand communication and reputation management expert Mr. Demola Akimbola. The event featured the launch of his book, Communicating to Win in Career and Business, the inauguration of the Nigerian Brand Academy, and the unveiling of Brand Steward, an initiative aimed at promoting brand consciousness and professional excellence. Speakers at the event commended Mr. Akimbola's contribution to the communication industry, while several distinguished individuals were honored with awards for their outstanding service and professional achievement. And that's it for now on Biscon TV News. But before we go, let's look at the major headlines that made the news this hour. On the national scene, Tinubu hails Sanwo-Olu at 61 and Gbajabiamila at 64. Wike slams David Mark over ADC claims on FCT road constructions and defends Tinubu's development agenda. In business, Nigeria needs better tax compliance. On a foreign scene, Venezuelan president declares state of emergency after earthquake. And in sport, FIFA allows Russia to enter international youth competition. The news was compiled and produced by David Ashra and Ime Manuel. Many thanks for watching.
Hello, welcome to Biscon Politics. I am Jones Hussein. Now, in today's edition, elections. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amokuta, has reaffirmed the Commission's commitment to combating election rigging, vote buying, and other forms of electoral malpractice. Speaking during the swearing-in of a new resident electoral commissioner, Professor Adenyo Tella, the INEC chairman described the credibility of the electoral process as the foundation of Nigeria's democracy and warned that any compromise of the Commission's standards would not be tolerated. He emphasized the need for transparency, professionalism, and strict compliance with the Electoral Act, while assuring Nigerians that the Commission remains determined to strengthen public confidence in the electoral process. For many political observers, this statement comes at a critical time as questions of electoral credibility, result management, and voter confidence continue to feature prominently in national political discussions. Meanwhile, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has continued its efforts to rebuild and consolidate its structures following its recent primaries and internal realignments. At the party's National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, delivered a strong message to party members, declaring that political power is never given freely but must be fought for through organization, commitment, and effective grassroots mobilization. Wike urged party aspirants and leaders to focus on delivering results rather than excuses, insisting that the PDP must prepare for a tough political battle if it hopes to regain power in 2027.
Don't think you just see something on the guy. Nobody picks power. And nobody is ready to dash you power. You have to struggle for it. You have to fight for it. You don't have to be afraid. When you see snake, they have come. You see reptile, they have come. Kill it.
Also speaking at the meeting, PDP National Chairman Abdul Rahman Mohammed called for unity and reconciliation within the party.
Of your unwavering commitment to the unity and growth and success of our party. I thank each and every one of you for your dedication, sacrifice, and steadfast belief in the PDP as the foremost platform for democratic governance and national development in Nigeria. As we gather once again to deliberate on issues critical to the future of our party and our nation, I am encouraged by the resilience, patriotism, and collective determination that continue to define our membership across all levels.
While the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Senator Mao Ohamboa, appealed to members to put aside differences and work collectively towards the party's future success.
Committed and focused on our common objective. I'm confident that with unity, determination, hard work, and by the grace of the Almighty God, our great party shall emerge victorious in the forthcoming elections at all levels.
Now let's go to Osun State, where political temperatures are also rising following allegations and counter-allegations surrounding activities linked to the re-election campaign of Governor Ademola Adeleke. The situation has attracted attention from political stakeholders, with calls for restraint, peaceful political engagement, and the avoidance of actions that could heighten tensions in the state's political environment. Analysts believe that as the 2027 general elections draw closer, issues of electoral credibility, party unity, internal democracy, and peaceful political participation will continue to dominate the national conversation. For now, political parties are focused on strengthening their structures, consolidating support bases, and preparing for what many expect to be an intensely competitive election season. In our next program of Biscon Politics, we shall continue to keep you updated on latest developments shaping Nigeria's political landscape. So that's it on Biscon Politics, compiled by Joseph Ohize and produced by David Asher. I am Jones Hussein. Many thanks for watching. Hello, folks. Welcome one more time to another of those moments where we interrogate the issues that get thrown at us, in these times. And what more can we do but to break them down? Today, Nigeria's revenue reforms lauded as tax, oil, mining receipts surge. That's the mining receipts grow. It's on record that initial reform movements often attract extreme views, especially from cynics and opposition. Now, these ideas are disconnected from the mainstream, but reformers are undeterred. They go on regardless. The cheering news we can share with you now is that Nigeria's fiscal position has improved, with total tax revenue surging by 49 year-on-year, levels to 15.8 trillion naira in the first 5 months of 2026. These sharing situations are largely driven by landmark structural reforms and new oil and mining levies. Yes, in retooling, that's in beginning for a new Nigeria which we all crave. President Tinubu had to take bold reforms. The trouble had always been to persuade the man on the street that these painful steps are for his own good. So let's go there. My conversationalist today is a gentleman who understands all about figures and so on. So let's meet and greet Mr. Akin Fatunke one more time. I welcome you.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. If I mention 15.8 trillion naira, I'm not talking about 15.8 million. I'm talking big money. And you recall that when the tax reforms of early this year came, so many people, especially those who didn't understand why the president had to do that, were not for it.
Yes. I'll put it succinct.
Okay.
15.8 trillion.
Yeah.
Which is some 49% surge on year to year for the first 5-6 months of 2026. It's not my mind, as
in the street balance
would like to say. Citizen Jones, I dare say, and for some umpteenth time, yes, maybe some people did not understand. Maybe they needed to really understand. And when I say people do not understand, I'm not necessarily accountants or tax practitioners, not necessarily professors, in the university. There are many in these categories, like the professional circles. They did understand. They understood.
But why were they grandstanding?
So they were grandstanding because, as in everything in our nation, Nigeria, anytime we want to make a change, they politicize it as much as possible. And so if anything rears its head, it could be in brain drain, it could be in security that we are facing here and there.
You mean insecurity?
And yes, insecurity, yes. And healthcare, JACPA and what have you, people will always want to turn it upside down. Now, in the case of the tax, a statement went out from easily my friend and my brother in the profession, Mr. Taiwo Yedele, at that time.
who is today's Minister of Finance,
to now say, look, we are going to make sure that we modernize our tax system. There are multiple taxes that you find here and there, including bicycle tax, including air tax, including
radio TV tax,
non-air tax. We are going to streamline, and so you not have, multiple organs of government. This one come in the morning with a tax, this one come in the local government with a tax. And people now then said that they don't think it's possible. And then he also came out and said that, look, some of the canons of our taxes have been there before most generations of the youths were born. And we could not just continue there. The picture then was like, look, if you are the poorest of the poor, when I say poorest of the poor, you are not likely to be paying taxes. And we are going to now then escalate that to make sure that SMEs, nanos, and manufacturers get some kind of relief. Nobody believed. And if you remember, he had to be going from one stakeholder to another stakeholder, including the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And in fact, when he got to the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it was a familiar ground. And I'll tell you why I say it's a familiar ground. Because just sincerely, back in my days in oil and gas, also on this subsidy or no subsidy issue, I had to go to the House of Reps, I had to go to the Senate, and they were asking questions. I remember Lawan, who was at that time, I think still the Senator of the Federal Republic, he was at that time, not the Senate.
Lawan, Senator Lawan.
Kano. Yes. No.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No, not Farouk Lawan.
Okay, not Farouk.
He eventually became the head of Senate. So, on the same tax issue, something to do with VAT or no VAT, not giving us VAT credits and stuff like that, I was surprised. So we were surprised at the level of mischief and misinformation that was going on, even with the
misinformation.
Yes,
at that level.
At that level. Yes, because we were out there and international media were there, and they were going to send us out, and they were going to give us the best of judgment. And I said, look, yes, we are Nigerians. Yes, mobile, where I used to work then. We will always continue to be Nigerian, but we will always continue to respect you. But let it be said that we came to the hallowed chambers of the National Assembly, and we were told by Nigerian senators,
representatives of the people,
that you are not going to want to listen to us, and we're going to stand up. And then some people now then said, please sit, let's look at it again. So
reason prevailed.
Oyedele went through this. You remember, we are going to and fro. This block will say this block will not say that, and all that. Now, in 6 months, just 6 months, 49% surge is something. And
15.8 trillion naira.
Yes. So, the Nigerian Revenue Service, which now has replaced, and the Custom Service, they upped their game, they tightened technology, and that's the reason why that has gone. So we now have what you now see as this massive revenue boom. Total tax collections were well driven by value-added tax and company income tax. They've significantly bolstered the national treasury.
Yeah.
Non-oil revenues have shone up. And
so when I realized that receipts from mining accounted for so much, I'm wondering, this same mining
that is still even just starting, because revenues from there were just appropriated. You remember the immediate past administration, where they get gold, where they get some of these lithiums, and they appropriate it to themselves. It doesn't come into the national pot. So now the reforms the tax reform, which has now been lauded by the IMF and development partners, and said, hey, this is great. So state and local support has now, been gathered, because we now found that we now have to do an expanded physical discipline. This discipline, the fiscal space has now pushed monthly that comes into the federal government that is now going to be spread through the allocation committee. Super. Now, policy backing. The CBN and the global bodies have held it to high heavens that is the way to go. So that now has now given us what we can now then begin to look at sectorial growth for each of these stops that we have. The bottom line, let's keep the reforms. And I hear that as we move towards 2027, some of the opposition parties are saying they are going to reverse. They are not going to. Strictly no basis for comparison. What needs to be done is to reinvest these gains, because the present administration is currently redirecting the generated receipts into social programs to ease current economic strains and on everyday citizens in the areas of healthcare, education, and then, of course, infrastructures, and not talk of security. Are we there? Not yet.
My trouble is that my colleagues in the media, I wonder if they deliberately fail to see these things or do not know how to persuade the man on the street that government means well. That's where I'm coming from.
Okay, well, somehow, somewhat, these policies, these reforms comes with some measure of pain.
Oh, yeah.
And it is delayed gratification, no doubt about that. So people generally are willing to high heavens.
Apprehensive.
And we are facing it. You should look for something for us to eat now, something for us to be able to see now. When you make an attempt to try and educate people, not just for this government, it's always been there. You know what you are told? Soma structure. Before we get in there, are we going to die? So there has to be some element of push and pull back a little bit, plow back, and prioritize.
But do you know?
So if you don't prioritize, then you may end up people looking at you and seeing that you are flying in private jets and all that. And while they are suffering, inflation is still high.
Yeah, Mr. Fatuke, I am moved to draw a parallel here between us and a country called Singapore. Singapore was an appendage of Malaysia, if you remember.
Yes.
It was chopped away by Malaysia in 1963-64. Yes. Malaysia said, go away. And the Singaporean people became despondent. But it took a man known as Lee Kuan Yew, who trained in England as a lawyer, to say, no, we will make the sacrifice. The sacrifice is for everybody. So things didn't start out rosy. It took major steps, fought corruption. As a matter of fact, he ensured his deputy prime minister got executed for corruption.
So, and then moved from third world to first world.
Third world to first world.
And again, in the case of Singapore, there was a vision, there was a people, and they had a direction. In the case of Nigeria,
they shared a common pain.
In the case of Nigeria, please pardon me to borrow from late Shehu Shagari, And it's MPN slogan. Back in the day, you say one nation, one destiny. For me, personally, the honest to God truth is that we are many nations and different destinies.
Yeah, but I also want to remind you that the great United States of America is many nations woven into one.
Because they all agreed that America first.
Yeah.
My country, I am not too sure that the various segments, whether it's religion, whether it's ethnic, I am not sure that people are thinking of Nigeria first.
Yeah.
It is my own region first, or my own tongue first. Okay, is this my own ethnic tribe first? I remember when these tax reforms were going on. To my shock and chagrin, at the National Assembly, the Southeast Caucus saw the truth about this, and they said, look, we have to continue. Yeah, you've been to us a couple of times, but you have to make sure you carry every other person along. The North said, no, we don't. We are not really interested. Of course, the Southwest and the South were for it. So when you find this,
when you're pulling from different directions,
it's going to be
chaos.
However, now this is the cruise of this matter. When you have navigation at different angles, and you can have somebody that can be bold enough, irrespective, but bold enough and say that is the direction we must go, and tries to, we must give. Let's give fast mark to, even if you don't like that such a person, and that is what Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in my honest opinion, has done. Now, if you now then tell me that you don't like him because of certain priorities, okay, he should be making it in yafu for us to be there, and then we should be going back to where we started from, our bubble, and we have gone the way of Greece and we have gone the way of Bolivia. As we speak today, the stability that we are enjoying and the renewed confidence that the tax reforms has boosted 15.8 trillion, something you would never have thought maybe you end up borrowing. Of course, doesn't stop us from borrowing, to now borrow and get into the critical aspect.
Yeah.
What I guess a lot of people are saying is because of these sufferings, okay, minimum wage, and a deliberate redirecting of making sure that the social security system is thoroughly enhanced. Where the greater challenge is that, yes, okay, so you've been found in a situation where you need a first aid, and you've applied the first aid, okay, now put the bandage, let's rush the patient to the hospital. In the subnationals, who perhaps are getting more money, but perhaps are not doing kind of enough. And I'll give you an example, Senator Jones. So, if a governor in a particular region has decided that I now have more money, my legislation and policy is that all girls 16 and below must be married at all costs and all that. That is their policy. Some other people now they say, look, my strategy will be, look, let's make sure that I educate and educate more. Don't you see a kind of difference? And then when you now then say, oh, well, it has to be education. And people now then say, what kind of education do you want to give us? Even in the Southwest, the Ekiti people resisted at one point in time when Awolowo came in with his free education. But guess what? They were the best beneficiaries, because all the professors that we had at that time, because they didn't see the initial vision. Now, in the Bola Tinubu tax reforms that we are seeing, you didn't want to agree to it. Okay? You are scared. You are thinking that the freebies that you had, the tax that you are evading and all that, is going to affect you badly. Now you found that it is there for you. It's gone to the state governors. It's been shared adequately. Go back. That you have been given one talent. Don't go and bury it as subnationals.
Multiply it.
Multiply it, and there are possibilities of multiplying.
But hold on.
But when you now return that with the kind of insecurity that we are finding in Nigeria, it tells you that we are many nations and many destinies.
Let's consider this. For a president who has taken these many bold steps in his first term, don't you think such a president means well?
Okay.
If you see where I'm coming from.
I see where you're coming from.
He's not doing this in his second term.
Not only is it that I see where you are coming from, I also see where you are going. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't want you to get there because you are not mine. It's okay. You are not, as far as I'm concerned, what you are doing is that you are taking the rankadede status away from me. You are opening people's eyes and all that. You cannot be my candidate. Hopefully, we are not going to get into a revolution now, in the real terms of the revolution now, where people's eyes are going to be opened and the poor are going to eat the rich. Such a man needs to be supported. But at the same time, such a man needs to lead by example. Everything surrounding him will be such that, yes, let's trust that you'll be able to do what you need to do and not being pretender. It should not be from your own area alone and all that. At the end of the day, let it be so that people can trust. The lack of trust in the Nigerian Federation, the Nigerian Federation is built on lack of trust. So we've been clubbed together. You just have to do on false statistics that certain areas are better than others. Those who know will now be looking at those who don't know, forgetting that if you say you don't know and you have such geographical areas that can multiply wealth, and you are not made to see, and you don't have leaders that will be able to take you in there. Rather, what you have is out of school children and almajiris, which unfortunately is not according to the South.
As we make to take this discussion home, but therefore let me inject a little something different. I don't know how you react to it. The second largest bitumen deposits in this world are found in Nigeria's Ondo State.
Correct.
You know, Venezuela number 1, Nigeria number 2.
Yes.
But Mr. Fatuke, aren't you scandalized that with these deposits we still import bitumen instead of exploiting the one we have? The Middle Belt is not called food basket of the nation for nothing. They produce fruits, the types you have in other parts of the world. But we can't conserve, you know. A lot of them will go to waste. And we still import fruit juices. Nigeria used to be the world's leader in the production of palm oil, notably today's Akwa Ibom and Cross River. Can't we go back there?
Good. So if you have been made to feel that without work you can get wealth, and by folding your hands, manna will start falling from heaven, and then somebody is now then saying, no, rather than do that, get up in the morning, try and do some work. You see that person as giving you hala. Something similar to how, as a toddler, you are forced to school. If toddlers had their choice, they won't want to go and face the headmaster in school. But you needed to go through that.
The eye of the needle.
Eye of the needle.
That crucible.
That narrow path for you to be able to getting your full potentials. Nigeria has been besetted by lies, has been clubbered together by lies, has a constitution that has lied unto itself, and has given a false hope that, look, without you necessarily doing anything, you rule. I mean, plus, minus the interregnum of the civil war that came again on trust and mistrust, from what you know happened in 1966 and thereafter, to the fact that there is a palpable fear that corruption must continue, because it's only when that corruption continues that those who apparently don't have the capacity to expand us beyond what we saw in the First Republic still says they will be the one that will determine who rules the country. It could go on for a particular while. It's going to get into a situation where we are now then seeing, because of the economy and the world shocks, COVID 2019,
yeah.
and thereafter, and then the global shocks of the invasion, okay, Palestine, Israeli, Iran, Iraq,
US,
and the US, Ukraine, Russia, suddenly open people's eyes that, look, we are going to be sinking. If you don't get your acts together, you are going to be in deep shit. We have been in a worse situation that we faced during COVID. If President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, please, I'm sorry I have to continue to say this, did not come and say, look, I'm not going to go for the cheap choices. I'm going to go for high choices. But
the hard ones.
You need to trust me and follow me there. But the warlords, the tribal lords of Nigeria, are saying that it's not your turn. No matter how, you should not be there. So the fight and the infighting for political space is part of some of the reasons why we will not continue to see things in that same direction. Is take it or leave it. Yes, competence or or incompetence is the security challenge that we are having today. That daily people are being kidnapped, people are being killed. There's a lot of outcry in certain areas, badly, and then there's a lot of mom in the other areas. Then you begin to wonder: Are we one nation, different destinies? Truly, yes, I think we are. The tax reforms has come to stay.
The money reforms too
has come to stay, and to the extent that opposition politicians are saying, maybe it is a circus show, that no, we are not going to. When we get there, we are going to reverse. I don't know if you believe that, St. Jones, or not. By saying that, you now appeal to the sentiments of the poor masses, and the poor masses will then say, yes, let's vote them out. Something similar to Rehoboam and Jehovah. When one said that, look, my father chastised you with sticks, I am going to chastise you with scorpions.
Yeah.
May the Lord God have mercy on Nigeria.
All right, we apply the brakes here, but not before convincing you that Nigeria's revenue reforms get lauded by those who should know, because our tax, our oil, and mining receipts are swelling. So we are winning the war. Whether we are ready to stay on the same lane is a matter for conjecture. But let us thank Mr. Akifatunke for his intervention at a time like this. Thank you very kindly.
Thank you very much, Citizen Jones.
We are out of here. Until the next time. Bye-bye.
On Saturday, February 21st, 2026, love, culture, and tradition converged beautifully at Paradise Event Center, Yaba, Lagos, as Temiloluwa Folami and Moyosorioluwa Fakolade were joined in holy matrimony in a ceremony that will long be remembered for its elegance and heartfelt significance. The radiant bride, Temiloluwa Folami, cherished daughter of the former social secretary of Island Club, Alhaji Olatunji Folami, KSP, and Alhaja Olaide Folami, was gracefully united with the distinguished groom, Moyosoroluwa Fakolade, a practicing legal practitioner and son of Reverend Dr. Architect Femi Fakolade and Reverend Mrs. Omonike Eunice Fakolade. Family members, esteemed friends, and well-wishers gathered from far and near to witness the solemn and joyous occasion, filling the venue with warmth and celebration. Proceedings commenced with the Islamic Nikah, held at the serene open-air expanse of Paradise Event Center. The sacred rite was officiated by a distinguished assembly of clerics, led by Sheikh Abdul Fattah S. Agbamba, who seized the profound moment to offer wise and thoughtful counsel to the intending couple, drawing from the rich teachings of Islam and emphasizing the virtues of patience, mutual respect, and unwavering commitment.
Àwọn méjèèjì ni wọ́n á jókòó láti bá wọn sọ ọ̀rọ̀ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin wọn solution lélẹ́yìí fún ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ẹbí. Ẹ wá rí ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ jẹ́ ìyàwó ilé nílé Fọlámi ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kẹ̀yìn náà. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé àníṣe aláìmáàrí representative ìyàwó ilé Yorùbá ní ṣe ìyàwó. Ṣé rí ngbà míì tí yẹn bá change environment ó lè fẹ́ yí padà lára bákan kí àwọn ìyàwó ilé wá rí pé àǹtí lágbájá ti ń gbádùn níbi tó wà o àǹtí báwo ló ṣe wá ṣẹlẹ̀ ẹ̀dẹ̀ wá rù díẹ̀ o ìyàwó wọn fẹ́ kó bọ̀ ni o má gbárù mọ̀ràn tí wọ́n ní o kìí ṣe gbogbo òmàrè èèyàn lèèyàn máa gbà o ẹ̀ ní kábàámọ̀ aburú ń bẹ̀ o ìpè àbádẹ́mọ̀ ni àbá má lọ ilé lágbájá lọ fẹ́yàwó kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀ sídìílé ọkọ o àbádẹ́mọ̀ ni àbá má lọ sílé lágbájá ká lọ fọmọ fún wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ní ṣẹlẹ̀ sẹ́yìn ìdílé ìyàwó náà gbogbo ẹnì kọ̀ọ̀kan wa náà táwa wà ń bí tírú báyìí wà ní iwájú tiwa náà táwa náà fẹ́ ṣe Ọlọ́run kò ṣe nírọ̀rùn o wàlálà hawla wàlá quwwata illa billahil aliyyil azim.
The ceremony progressed with the payment of the bride price, the exchange of rings, the deeply emotional recitation of marital vows, heartfelt prayers, and the formal pronouncement of their union.
Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Inshallah. Ayy photographer. Bismillah, Allahu Akbar. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
The celebration then transitioned seamlessly into the traditional marriage ceremony within the magnificent banquet hall of the event center. Elegantly moderated by Damilola D. Alaga, the cultural rites unfolded with dignity and vibrancy, beginning with the grand entrance of the parents of the couple. Their formal introduction and the reading of the proposal letter, fondly referred to as Letter Ayo by the bride's sibling. Anticipation filled the hall as the handsome groom made a spectacular entrance, accompanied by his gallant friends. Followed by the breathtaking arrival of the bride, resplendent and radiant, in the company of her graceful friends. Upon the completion of the traditional rites, including the symbolic payment of the bride price, the couple was formally declared husband and wife, marking a defining moment that was greeted with applause and jubilation. The atmosphere blossomed into a grand reception where guests were treated to exquisite cuisine and captivating musical entertainment delivered by the Music Elite Band, whose performance infused the evening with rhythm and vitality. The reception was further dignified by the presence of eminent personalities, including Chief Olatunde Sholaluko, who served as chairman of the occasion, and Otumba Honorable Stephen Olukayode Ogundipe. Also in attendance were esteemed members and trustees of Island Club, led by its chairman, Omoba Dr. Rotimi Martins, KCOP. Members of the Yoruba Tennis Club, led by its chairman, Engineer Brother Olaomi Gaspar, MNI. The reception proceedings resumed with the ceremonial entrance of the couple's parents, followed by yet another electrifying entrance of the newlyweds and their friends, dancing joyfully to vibrant music that set the tone for an unforgettable evening. In his remarks, the chairman of the occasion, Chief Olatunde Sholaluko, offered heartfelt fatherly counsel, urging the couple to remain united, to build a solid foundation anchored in trust and understanding, and to nurture a marriage defined by prosperity and enduring love.
So shall it be with you in Jesus Christ's mighty name. You will never regret coming to Lagos to pick a wife. My dear daughter, as your name says, you are a child of God. And one of the things that God demands of us is to respect your husband. Your husband is the master of the family. And you owe your husband all the respect in the world. Equally, your husband must also know that you are also an equal partner in this marriage in the sight of God. So your husband will also honor you. You respect your husband will honor you. If you inculcate this into your life, early in life, to agree, if you realize that your husband is the master of the house, though you are equal partners in the sight of God in this marriage, and your husband continues to honor you, then you'll be laying a solid foundation for a very happy and successful marriage. I pray to the Almighty God, who has brought you together as husband and wife today will continue to sustain you. God will grant you all you need for a very successful, happy, prosperous, fruitful home. In no time, your own children will be getting married. And then you too will be proud grandparents of children, many children that will come in quick and rapid succession.
Special presentations followed from members of the Island Club and the Immaculate Club, further reflecting the deep affection and goodwill surrounding the couple. The cutting of the wedding cake, expertly directed by the Master of Ceremonies, was accompanied by melodious music and dazzling fireworks, creating a magical spectacle.
Letter J. Can I say J? The second letter is E. Can I say E? I'm here. The third letter is S. Can I say S? The fourth letter is U. Can I say U? And the final letter is S. Can I say S? Somebody shout Jesus! Ladies and gentlemen, my forever sweet Valentine. Beautiful moment between you. Right at the now you can put for your pictures right now.
The couple's romantic first kiss and their enchanting first dance drew warm admiration, while the emotional dances shared with their parents added a tender and unforgettable dimension to the celebration. As jubilations intensified, family, friends, and well-wishers took turns joining the couple on the dance floor, with the music elite band sustaining the vibrant atmosphere and evoking spirited merriment that carried on joyfully until the graceful conclusion of a truly remarkable celebration of love and unity.
Hello and welcome to the World News on Biscon TV. I'm Emmanuel. Let's look at the headlines making the news this hour. On the national scene, Tinubu hails Sanwo-Olu at 61 and Gbajabiamila at 64. Wike slams David Mark over ADC claims on FCT road constructions, defends Tinubu's development agenda. In business, Nigeria needs better tax compliance. On the foreign scene, Venezuelan president declares state of emergency after earthquake. Sports news: FIFA allows Russia to enter international youth competition. Now let's bring you the news in detail. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday congratulated Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu on his 61st birthday and his Chief of Staff Femi Gbajabiamila on his 64th birthday. In a statement issued by Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, Tinubu described Sanwo-Olu's contribution to the development of Lagos State as remarkable. The president said the governor had combined his private and public sector experience to advance economic, infrastructural, and cultural development in the state. The president also congratulated Gbajabiamila on his 64th birthday, describing him as a loyal and dedicated public servant. He praised the former Speaker of the House of Representatives for his contributions to Nigeria's democracy and his role in the formation of the APC. The president also prayed for good health, wisdom, and strength for the governor and his chief of staff. Away from that, Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Barrister Nyesom Wike on Thursday took a swipe at former Senate President David Mark over what he described as his poor infrastructure record while in office, arguing that the achievement of President Bola Tinubu's administration in road infrastructure within 3 years has surpassed what was accomplished during Mark's tenure in leadership position. Wike spoke at the commissioning of the interchange at Eteria Road N16 Ring Road 3 junction linking Jai and Gwarimpa district in Abuja, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was represented by Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The minister's remark came in response to recent criticism from the African Democratic Congress ADC, which said he had nonetheless acknowledged the administration's achievement in road infrastructure. The minister argued that the Tinubu's administration had demonstrated what could be achieved through political will and commitment to continuity in office. And still on the news, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has called for greater youth participation in voluntary organizations, saying early exposure to humanitarian service is essential to shaping responsible citizens and building a more compassionate society. Speaking on Thursday after she was decorated as the Grand Matron of the Nigerian Red Cross Society at the State House in Abuja, the First Lady said volunteer organizations should be deliberately used to instill values of selflessness and community service among young Nigerians. The First Lady commended the Nigerian Red Cross Society for its humanitarian interventions across the country and expressed confidence that Nigeria would overcome its current challenges through collective commitment and purposeful leadership. And still on the news, the federal government on Thursday unveiled the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System Human Resources Employee Self-Service Application. It also commenced sensitization of the newly approved Public Service Mentoring Program in a move aimed at accelerating digital transformation and strengthening leadership succession within the federal civil service. The training initiative were presented during a stakeholders event held at the Rotunda Hall of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja as part of activities marking the 2026 Civil Service Week. Speaking at the event, the Permanent Secretary, Career Management Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Nkiruka Jones Nebo, described the launch of the digital HR platform and mentoring program as two strategic reforms designed to modernize public service operations and prepare a new generation of leaders. She noted that the platform would empower employees and managers with self-service capabilities that enhance access to information, transparency, and accountability. Let's take a quick break here and bring you business news. In business, 1 year after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed Nigeria's landmark tax reform laws, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, has expressed concern that many Nigerians still view taxation as a way for government to take money from citizens rather than a tool for national development. Speaking in Abuja when a delegation from the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria paid him a courtesy visit to mark the 2026 National Tax Awareness Day, Oyedele said public perception of taxation remains one of the biggest challenges facing the country's revenue system. The minister noted that a well-functioning tax system could significantly accelerate Nigeria's development and improve public service across the country. Also, he commended CITN for introducing the National Tax Awareness Day and for its support of the federal government tax reform program. The minister urged the institute to intensify effort to educate citizens on the benefit of taxation and also proposed the creation of annual awards to recognize outstanding tax compliant individuals and businesses. We will take another break here and bring you foreign news. On the foreign scene, Venezuela has declared a nationwide state of emergency after two powerful earthquakes measuring 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude, along with more than 20 aftershocks, struck the country and caused widespread destruction. Interim President Delcy Rodriguez announced the emergency measures after building collapse in and around Caracas and serious damage forced the closure of the country's main international airport. The twin quakes have killed at least 32 people and injured more than 700, while rescue workers continue searching for survivors trapped under rubble. Authorities say emergency resources have been mobilized nationwide as recovery efforts continue and officials assess the full extent of the damage. The disaster has triggered widespread panic, disrupted transportation and infrastructure, and raised concerns over further aftershocks in the coming days. Up next, sports news.
Audio
In the world of sports, FIFA has opened a pathway for Russia's return to international youth football by allowing all its 211 member associations, including Russia, to participate in the newly created FIFA Under-15 World Cup and festival scheduled to take place in Azerbaijan in October 2026. Russian officials welcomed the move, describing it as an important step towards the country's gradual reintegration into global football after years of suspension from international competition following the invasion of Ukraine. The decision signals a possible easing of restriction on Russian participation in international sport, particularly at youth level. However, Russia remains suspended from senior FIFA and UEFA competitions, with European football authorities maintaining that the ban will stay in place until further notice. The move is expected to reignite debate among football's federation as previous attempts to reintroduce Russian youth team face opposition from several countries, including Ukraine and a number of European nations. You've been watching the world news on Biscon TV. We'll take a final break here. When we come back, we'll bring you entertainment news. Now, finally, on entertainment news, a grand celebration was held at the Rotary Centre, Ikeja, Lagos, on Thursday to mark the 25th anniversary of the professional career of renowned brand communication and reputation management expert Mr. Demola Akimbola. The event featured the launch of his book, Communicating to Win in Career and Business, the inauguration of the Nigerian Brand Academy, and the unveiling of Brand Steward, an initiative aimed at promoting brand consciousness and professional excellence. Speakers at the event commended Mr. Akimbola's contribution to the communication industry, while several distinguished individuals were honored with awards for their outstanding service and professional achievement. And that's it for now on Biscon TV News. But before we go, let's look at the major headlines that made the news this hour. On the national scene, Tinubu hails Sanwo-Olu at 61 and Gbajabiamila at 64. Wike slams David Mark over ADC claims on FCC road constructions and defends Tinubu's development agenda. In business, Nigeria need better tax compliance. On a foreign scene, Venezuelan president declares state of emergency after earthquake. And in sport, FIFA allows Russia to enter international youth competition. The news was compiled and produced by David Ashra and Ime Manuel. Many thanks for watching.
This political season, position your party, candidate, and campaign for greater visibility and wider public engagement for effective publicity, professional coverage, and maximum media exposure. With our wide audience reach, strong online presence, and long-standing reputation for quality production and credible broadcasting, your message can reach supporters, voters, and stakeholders across Nigeria and beyond. And now, for this political season, Biscon TV is offering a special 50% discount on political campaign jingles, advert placements, and related publicity packages for a limited period. Take advantage of this unique opportunity to give your campaign the visibility it deserves. Biscon TV and the Biscon Show, BOS, your trusted partner for professional political broadcasting, publicity, and media coverage. For inquiries, bookings, and partnership, contact 0803 390 1756, 0802 357 0075, or email prince@debisiolatilaw@gmail.com. Biscon TV, your trusted platform for political publicity and massive reach. Osun people, the light that began to shine must not go dim. From the roads that now connect our communities to the schools giving our children renewed hope, from improved healthcare reaching our mothers and families to the empowerment of workers, youths, farmers, and entrepreneurs, a new Osun is rising before our eyes. Today, Governor Ademola Adeleke humbly returns to the people with a simple message. The journey has begun, but the mission is not yet complete. The first mission is to build more roads, bridges, and rural infrastructure so that every community can feel the impact of development. The second mission is to deepen quality education, expand opportunities for our children, and prepare the next generation for a competitive world. The third mission is to strengthen healthcare and social welfare so that no family is left behind and every citizen can access quality care and support. The fourth mission is to create more jobs, empower more youths and women, attract investment, grow businesses, and unlock greater economic prosperity for Osun State. And the fifth mission is to secure our communities, support our farmers, expand agriculture, and build a sustainable future where peace, food security, and prosperity flourish together. This is not just another election. This is a choice between stopping and moving forward. A choice between uncertainty and continuity. A choice between promises and proven performance. From Osogbo to Ilesha, from Ede to Ikirun, from Ife to Iwo, from Ila to Ejigbo. The message is echoing across every town and village. Let the light continue to shine. Let progress continue to grow. Let development reach every doorstep. Together, let us consolidate the gains, secure great prosperity, and build the Osun of our dreams. Governor Ademola Adeleke, the people's governor, the people's choice, the light of Osun, Imolede, Imoletumbo. Adeleke again, for progress, for prosperity, for greater Osun. In the race toward the future of Osun State, one name continues to stand out as a symbol of experience, discipline, and technical leadership. Asiwaju Muniruddin Bola Oyebamiji, widely known as Ambo. A seasoned banker and public administrator with over 28 years of experience, Oyebamiji brings a strong blend of private sector expertise and public service reform. He has built a reputation for results, structure, and accountability. In Osun State, his tenure as Commissioner for Finance remains a key highlight, where he strengthened internal revenue, improved transparency, and reduced financial leakages in government operations. His governance philosophy is rooted in what he calls a pact with the people, focused on trust, service delivery, and inclusive development. His campaign agenda, the Osun Prosperity Agenda, prioritizes job creation, agricultural revival, industrial growth, and support for small and medium-scale enterprises. He also emphasizes key infrastructure projects such as transport corridors, logistics hubs, and strategic assets like the Dagbolu Dry Port and Ido-Osun Airport to drive long-term growth. On social development, he promises improved education, better healthcare, and stronger workers' welfare through sustainable reforms. At the core of his message is simple. Governance must be professional, data-driven, and focused on delivering real results for the people. For many supporters, Ambo represents experience, stability, and a clear roadmap for resetting Osun State on a path of prosperity.
On Saturday, July 27, 2024, the Madison Event Center in Oniru, Lagos, was the grand venue for the 80th birthday anniversary celebration of Sir Ken Caleb's Olumese, affectionately known as the Governor. Born in May 1944 in Ubegun, Esan West Local Government, Edo State, Ken Caleb's Olumese is the esteemed founder, promoter, and governor of Night Shift Entertainment Limited, the parent company of several businesses, including the renowned Night Shift Coliseum. With over 45 years of experience in administration, entertainment, commerce, and industry, Olumese is a retired private businessman and a veteran nightlife entrepreneur who has significantly transformed Nigeria's entertainment industry through his pioneering showbiz ventures and talent-supporting programs. The event was graced by a distinguished assembly of eminent personalities from various fields, including Chief Samuel Ubebe, Deputy Chief of Staff representing Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State, Uncle Sam Amuka, veteran Nigerian journalist, columnist, publisher, and founder of Vanguard newspaper, Professor Bolaji Akiyemi, former Minister of External Affairs, Senator Bode Olajumoke, former Senator representing Ondo North Senatorial District, Olurugun Dr. Sonny Kuku, Ogbeni Oja of Ijebuland, Prince Bisi Olatilo, Chairman and CEO of Biscon Communications, Mr. John Momo, founder and CEO of Channels Television, Are Dili Momodu, CEO and publisher of Ovation International, Tony Akutu, Group Managing Director of Dar Communications PLC, Michael Aruwutawaya II, Elerimo of Erimo, Chief Mike Ozekome, San, Dr. Ruben Abati, Nigerian journalist and former special advisor to the President, Atunyota Alleluia Akbobome, professionally known as Alibaba, Nigerian comedian and master of ceremonies, Charles Okuta, also known as Charlie Boy, Ichie Azu Arinze, renowned journalist, author and PR practitioner, legendary Nollywood actors, Chief Emeka Osai and Shego Arinze. The grand entrance of the celebrant, joined by his beloved wife, Tina Olumese, was one of the highlights of the occasion. The event commenced with an opening prayer by Reverend Shegu Oladende, followed by the Nigerian national anthem. The celebrant's daughter, Cynthia Yikere, welcomed all guests and outlined the day's agenda.
So we, his kids, sought to do something special at his event today by recreating the Night Shift Coliseum memories. Specifically, a Grand House reception off Grand House reception to seal, sign, and deliver. I'm a lawyer. All Grand House receptions hosted by the governor. So with this super Grand House reception, you will get to see what we mean as we recount the theme Boogaloo dance, or get to experience the governor on the hot seat. What you will witness today isn't just about celebrating 80 incredible years. It's about celebrating the countless memories and the laughter, the lessons, the love he has given so generously. Whether you're a lifelong friend or a new acquaintance, each of you here holds a special place in his heart. And we join him to thank you for making this day unforgettable. So to a man who has shown us that age is nothing but a number, and joy can be found in every moment, and that family and friends are life's greatest treasures, here is to Ken Caleb's Olumese, the governor, the legend, and our beloved father. May the next chapter of your life be filled with even more adventures, joy, and love.
Guests were then entertained by vibrant performances from the Boogaloo music crew. A documentary showcasing the life and achievements of Ken Caleb's Olumese was aired, featuring heartfelt reflections from his family and friends. An interactive session followed, where the celebrant answered questions from the audience. Tributes poured in from close companions, including Chief Yinka Taiwo, who described Olumese as a best friend and a wonderful person.
In the secondary school together, at Western Boys School, Benin City, in the 50s. Since then, we have been very close. I can even say that he's my best friend. He's a wonderful person. I'm not going to waste your time because he has written a book, and I'm sure that book will tell the whole story. Thank you very much.
Senator Bode Olajumoke, who lauded Olumese's honesty and discipline, Mr. Taiwo Obileye, who recounted his first meeting with Olumese and praised his courage and mentorship.
Honestly, Ken is a very, very humble person. That's an attraction for me. He's also highly disciplined. We share these attributes. And I want to say that I'm so grateful that you have a wonderful family, Tina, and the rest of the children. They're great, great, great reflection of your attributes in terms of humility, in terms of discipline. Well, I was 80, we were born the same year, 1944, and when people are praying now, they say, we'll be there at 85, we'll be there at 90. All I say is that it must be in good health. I wish you good health.
I found Ken a very courageous person, as I wrote in my tribute. He left a job that was paying well and went into something he hadn't done before.